I made a fake one.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the fan club. It's your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. Welcome to the show. If you guys like this video and you guys enjoy consistent Power Ranger content, we're uploading videos every day. I did not upload a video yesterday. It was my daughter's birthday. We had our party, and I did post a little picture of her Power Ranger cake, though. I think you'll get a real kick out of that. Anyways, you guys know what to do. If you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You can also send us a tip on buymeacoffee.com/thefanclub. We appreciate all of the feedback and all of the love you guys give us. Now let's get into the video. This is a pretty awesome video because I'm a huge fan of top 10 lists, even though they're not. You're always going to be able to argue with the list, and that's why I think I like a good list. And instead of most powerful or the worst, or this is the 10 most underrated team members, okay? I have not read this list yet. I saw that Screen Rant just put this out a few days ago, and I enjoy a lot of Screen Rant's articles and things that they put out. And I thought we'd give them some love and talk about this. And also, it is the off season in the Ranger universe, guys. We're on a hiatus. We're in the middle of a show, figuring out if we're going to get a UK release, what's going on in the second half of Dino Fury, what's going on with the toy line. We just had a Fan First Friday. This past Friday, we got a bunch of Lightning collection, but not much about the Dino Fury. It should be coming probably fall, winter, hopefully before the year is over at this point. But that is a whole nother episode. Let's get into it. The 10 most underrated team members, okay? They put here, Power Rangers has some iconic members of the team over the years, but a few great ones don't get the credit they deserve. I wholeheartedly agree with that. There's a lot of guys and a lot of girls out there that maybe because they weren't on the proper season, or a season that maybe didn't have a budget like some of the Disney seasons, or some Rangers that were just on a season that was forgettable, you know, and there's a few of them out there. For Power Ranger fans, we know most of the seasons. Like I can tell you pretty much every season. I don't know if I can tell you every single character, though. That's the problem, is I know I'm gonna, through the Disney seasons, I'm gonna start to like forget some of the background Rangers, as you put them, not the red or the pink or maybe the green, depending on who he is. Like, there's a lot of Rangers that you kind of forget about, but are still awesome team members. Okay? I love it. Some Power Rangers just don't get as much time in the spotlight as others. Not every Power Ranger can be Tommy Oliver, after all, heading up 3 different Ranger teams, mentoring another, and appearing in even more crossover episodes. That doesn't mean they aren't just as important. Okay, they talk about these particular Power Rangers are often overlooked, but make huge contributions to their team. Oh yeah. Oh, RJ. Beast, man. They put him in here. He is underrated. Feel like he does get love through the community, but hey, put him 10 because he doesn't get as much love as maybe he deserves. The first Purple Ranger of the franchise. Oh yeah, it was so cool. He might run his own business, but he always seems to have room for fun. I love him. He's like that entrepreneur guy. Do whatever you want to do. I run a pizza business. I'm in a good mood. I love to do what I want to do. There's a lot of characters that seem like they're in a bad mood, or they're so strict and kind of stuck up in the way of, this is the way I'm supposed to be, stuff like that. So I love it. Though RJ has a spirit wolf, he spends a lot of time imparting advice to the main team of Rangers, joining them in the fight when they need help. Yeah, oh yeah, he comes in there and kills it, man. His advice comes in handy since he's a master of many different fighting styles and knows exactly who to approach when he's not the one with the advice they need. Oh yeah, he's not scared to think outside the box, and he's smart, dude. He's like, you guys remember the movie? Yeah, that is funny. Don't roast me too bad. Do you guys remember the movie Kung Fu Panda? Like, he's got that personality where when you first meet this guy, you don't necessarily think he's going to be as important as he is. Now, he's a master at the same time, but in the same sense of you don't think that he is, when you first meet him, he's this guy in this pizza restaurant, and they don't even trust this guy, and he comes out to be like a leader, a Billy, a Dr. K, a samurai master, all in one kind of. He had like traits of a bunch of different allies all in one. So I like RJ. I think that is a great pick. Ooh, Kira. Dino Thunder coming in at number 9. You know what? She got a lot of love, and maybe this was around that time when this is around the time when Dino Thunder, the numbers weren't doing very good for Power Rangers and Disney. They brought in JDF to kind of add a little spark and add some ratings to the shows. And I thought that this was a pretty good season, man. I liked this season. I liked that they did an ode to the Sentai episode. I loved the theme song. The suits were awesome. You brought Tommy back, but not just as an ally or a mentor. You gave him a suit. You let him be the Black Ranger. Like, I love this season. And Kira definitely doesn't get talked about a lot when you think of like the top female Rangers, but she is dope. She came back in, I believe, 2007 for Operation Overdrive, and yeah, I love this character. They're just kind of talking about who she is. Kira comes from a professional singer in the future, or becomes a professional singer in the future that Power Rangers SPD exists in. Oh yeah, I love that. Her particular power gives her an edge against some of the villains created by Mesogog, but she's underrated not because of her performance in her own series, but her performance in others. She has the distinction of appearing in 2 different crossovers, rare for any Power Ranger who isn't from the Mighty Morphin series. Kira helped both the Operation Overdrive and SPD. Oh yeah. She was in the crossover. Yep. That's correct. Emma. So they're going with the Pink Ranger Emma, huh? Okay. For some fans, the Power Rangers Megaforce series was a bit of a letdown. But Emma in particular had a lot in common with the Pink Rangers who came before her. Yeah, she sings as a fondness for animals. She was just the way that they wrote this character, and you saw with Megaforce, they were trying to give you that Mighty Morphin feel. And the Blue Ranger was like Billy, the Red Ranger was like Jason, the Pink, they all had different traits that kind of implied that they were going back to the way it was. And I feel a lot of Kimberly traits for sure in this character. And I thought she did a very good job with the character. So underrated, yes. Like anybody from Megaforce could be on this underrated list because a lot of people hated on the season. I didn't think it was horrible, but it could have been better than what it was. The writing, it wasn't great, but I don't fault any of these actors or the characters themselves, Oh yeah, you gotta put TJ in here, man. Yeah, TJ makes the list. Super underrated. First Black Reader of the Power Rangers. Dude, I think it said reader, but I meant to say leader. He is one of my favorites all time. TJ is a beast. He made Turbo fun. I think I watched every episode or most episodes when I was a child. I think Turbo came out when I was 6 or 7, and I love this season. It was it didn't really make a lot of sense the first half, though. I remember a lot of kids got out of Power Rangers at Turbo, and I stayed with it. The movie, it was decent. I liked it as a kid. And what I mean decent is I liked it as a kid. But when I got older, man, that thing is tough to watch. It's one of the most beautiful looking Power Ranger movies I've ever seen. It looks cool, but there just wasn't enough. Um, there wasn't enough heart. There wasn't enough storyline. There wasn't enough action and fighting. It just missed a lot of things. But this second half crew brought a lot to the table. I absolutely loved this crew. And we're talking Carlos, TJ, Ashley, Cassie. Like, loved that crew, and they really saved Power Rangers, along with the ending and in space. You know, this whole thing could have went real bad, and I felt when that second half came along, I really gravitated towards these guys, and they just added a little bit of spunk. Not saying that JDF and Kathleen Sutherland and Johnny Young Bosch didn't add like the same thing. It was more of, at the time, you could tell they were getting older. They wanted to do other things, and Power Rangers was evolving and trying to turn into new concepts. Because that just in a year and a half, 2 years after this, they turned into an every season type of thing. And Power Rangers was the end, or Power Rangers was ending as we knew it. And you were only going to get one and done seasons. There wasn't a giant continuation like past years. Now, they're doing better jobs of adding to the canon of the full show. And it is fun. But Power Rangers in Space, one of the best seasons. TJ, one of the coolest leaders. Super dope, man. I just remember being a little kid and seeing a black red ranger, and my friends were so excited to see that, because I think representation at times is huge, man. Like, so huge. You can be like, dude, like, there's a Red Ranger. He's like me. It's so cool, man. And just I've seen this through real life, and so many of my friends be like, TJ is my favorite. And I really like TJ too, because he had this attitude, man. He was cool. Like, I don't know. There's something cool about TJ. Always loved. I love the character. There's this new, what is it? Christopher Kamen Lee has that new series. Is it Bloodline to the Grid or something? It's like his son is in it. TK, they wrote him a son. Oh, it's so dope, man. Go watch that. We'll get this going. Oh, Bridge. Underrated, but also awesome. Like, I feel like if you know Power Rangers in the series, you know Bridge. Like, you know who this guy is. He's got a fun story. He's came back a few times. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like Bridge is awesome. Like, most people know who Bridge is. Now, I see a name that is kind of, like, been in a couple, but Bridge, is he even underrated? I feel like a lot of people actually like Bridge. Like, there's fans of Bridge. Like, he has fans. What do you guys think on that one? Or am I just seeing it from one side? Yeah, people love this character. I don't think he's too underrated. Maybe in the sense of, like, do they want to see him again or something? But yeah, I really like Bridge. He's a cool character. Xander. No, he was one of the characters that we loved, and they even put here for award for most growth in the franchise. He was fun, man. I really like this character. Super underrated. I love that there was a Green Ranger this season. He's probably my favorite character from Mystic Force, but he doesn't get a lot of credit that he deserves. He does come back for Operation Overdrive, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, Alyssa from Wild Force. This is cool. See, you don't hear much about her at all, and she was like, what, the first? Well, no, I guess Delphine was the first White Ranger. But she was like white and pink. I really liked her costume. I remember seeing her being like, oh, that's a really cool costume. Alyssa is something of a Renaissance woman. She doesn't get nearly enough credit for all the things she can do in Power Rangers Wild Force. Like Emma, she's a gentle soul. She often acts as the mediator when teammates don't see eye to eye, and that's not all. She's awesome. Um, yeah, she was trained in martial arts, and she becomes the White Ranger. She's fun, dude. I remember her. She was super kind, great role model. I feel like she is one that doesn't get talked about at all, but very good character. Alyssa Wildforce, that's up there. Oh, Cassie in Space, she was super cool. I feel like she does get a lot of credit though, because she was part of like one of the greatest seasons of all time, man. Like, I don't know, maybe she doesn't get as much credit as the rest of her castmates, and maybe that's what it is, but she was awesome. She was in Turbo for a half a season, and then in Space, and then came back for Lost Galaxy, and then I think she come back for like Megaforce? I don't know. Like, she's awesome. Ooh, Adam. See, this is tough because I see why they would say Adam is underrated, because maybe when you think of Mighty Morphin, you don't think of Adam, but man, he has like a cult following. Like, the more time goes on, the more people appreciate this guy. I can't say that he's underrated. No, I feel like his characters that he's played within Power Rangers and the anime universe are just big now. He's a legend. Johnny Young Bosch, he's dope, man. And Adam isn't very underrated no more, if you ask me. I think that this is one that I argue with them a lot. Like, dude, everybody remembers the whole frog scene from, like, that stole the show from the movie, the original movie. Man, there were so many cool things in Zeo. Do you remember, what was it? Remember the scary movie episode, the horror movie episode? Man, in Turbo, he was good in his role too. I feel like he was one of my favorite characters in the first half of Turbo, especially with the whole Carlos thing and the soccer team. I really liked that, man. He's not underrated in my eyes. What do you guys think about Adam? I think if maybe compared to some of the originals, like, yeah, you don't think of Adam right away, but in the greater scheme of things, I feel like he has his own figures and stuff coming out, at least. Maybe not as much as maybe as Zach or JDF or ASJ, but he's still getting some work. That's all I'm saying. And then, you got Tanya. You know what? I don't know if she's number one, but I will put her on this list. Tanya is super cool. And if you're going to say anybody is slept on, see, I don't feel like Johnny Young Bosch is slept on. Everyone knows that he's dope, but Tanya was kind of one of those lost in transition Rangers at times, because by the yellow, we were switching so many Rangers out already. When you got to the yellow Zeo, first it was Trini, then Aisha, now it's Tanya. And maybe at first, people were thrown off or didn't really understand what was going on. If they just recasted Aisha, there was a lot of different questions that happened. I remember I didn't fully get it because I was like 5 or 6 when Zeo came out, and when they switched her, I don't think that I watched like the end of the Mighty Morphin. Like, I was missing some episodes, or I didn't watch the beginning of Zeo. Something in there where basically I turned it on and the Yellow Ranger was switched, and Billy, and everything was a little bit different. And Billy wasn't a Ranger no more, and it was like, whoa, what's going on? And there was a lot of focus on a lot of other things, but I really appreciated and liked Tanya a lot. And I see her as someone, as a character that is slept on, that is underrated, because she brought so much heart and confidence And I really loved and adored this character. She was one of my favorite characters on Zeo and Turbo. Especially, like, I remember that first half of Turbo when it was kind of when it was in the middle for me, but I still watched it as a kid. It's Power Rangers. But you know, you rewatch it and you're like, man, I see where we went wrong. Tanya and Adam, I really liked those two. Those were some of my favorites, man. It wasn't that I didn't like Tommy no more. It was just they were writing. I felt like they could have focused on what was the next step for these characters realistically. Like, you had Tommy doing some race car stuff, and I don't know, it was I liked that Tanya was singing, and I don't know, there's something special about that character. And Nakia Baris that plays her, she's just an awesome actress in person. Like, I've never met her. Someday I want to, but I've watched a lot of her videos and she's just cool. I like her character, and I do feel like she is slept on because of those seasons of the first few adaptations of Power Rangers from the Sentai's and stuff. She is one that is a little forgot about sometimes, but the real Ranger fans really do know her. So what do you guys think? I'm not gonna fully rank this or re-rank this. I thought they did a good job. There was, like, Adam, I just don't feel like he's that underrated no more. Everyone, like, this guy's like, he's one of the coolest Rangers we got. Tanya, though, she's slept on because there's so many cool characters in that season. There was Tommy, and there was Adam, and there was Rocky and Zeo and Cat, and then you got a Kid Ranger and Justin and Turbo, which added a whole other side to the story, and it took away from other characters. Yeah, Tanya's dope, man. This was a really good article. Shout out Screen Rant. What do you guys think about this? Who do you think is the most underrated character or Ranger in the Power Rangers franchise? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscription button, and also hit that notification bell to stay in the algorithm. Do you guys support the fan club? You want to help us make our next episode and keep this show running? Well, check out our brand new fan club t-shirts. These are on our Square site. Go check that out. Go check us out on all social media platforms. And thank you for rocking with us, guys.